Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Tuscany Adventure Time, organized by the Italian National Tourism Board of US and Canada. I want to welcome our friends from the US, of course. We have a large contingent of attendees from the US and Canada, of course, and we also have attendees from Mexico and Puerto Rico. So everybody, thank you very much for joining us. This is very exciting. So this is the first of a 5-part series webinars on the beautiful region of Tuscany. So because there was so much, of course, content and things that we wanted to tell you, the region itself had decided to divide the destination in 5 different webinars. So stick around with us and follow us, and you will receive the other invitation, and you will be attending the other one. One thing is very important, stick around with us, because at the end of the webinar, we will be having a quick round of question and answer. And at the end, whoever gets it right and the fastest will be notified that they won a beautiful skirted tour of the island of Pianosa that later on Francesca will talk about. That it's a really extraordinary and it's a unique experience that you will actually have. I can talk this one. Perfect. Let's talk about Tuscany, and let's talk about the beautiful region that I have to say I am from. So I'm a little bit partial today. People may notice the pictures here in the back. It's found in Siena. It's La Maestà di Duccio. So I'm Tuscan through and through. But having said that, let's get to it. Now, I want to welcome, of course, from the beautiful region of Tuscany, the Promotion and Business Executive of Toscana Promozione Turistica, Marta Iavarone, as well as the Product Manager, Viaggi del Genio Tour Operator, Parco Nazionale Arcipelago Toscano, a very, very long title, Francesca Tribocco. So they will be sort of explaining to us, hello, hi, and as you can see, Francesca is not holding bar and actually showing us exactly what she will be talking about. So I'm gonna stop talking because it's too boring, and I'll pass on the mic to Marta, who, please, Marta, tell us, Adventure in Tuscany, what it is.
Adventure in Tuscany is a tourism product we are developing since 2016. So we began this path, we can say, and because we just wanted to give the tourist market something unusual about Tuscany, and we recognized we had a great potential because we are full of nature in Tuscany. So Tuscany is the second region in Italy for woodland, and nobody knows it. We have 9 parks, 3 regional parks, 3 national parks. One is the one where Francesca is operating in the Marine Park, and we have UNESCO parks. So Tuscany has also more than 100 protected areas, and our landscapes are not only beautiful, but they are really protected by the law. So what we can do in Tuscany is not only culture, which is really very important, but also something adrenaline, so something different than we use the most traditional tourism. So what we would like to present you today is something perhaps you didn't know you could do in Tuscany. You could do 1 hour, 2 hour driving from Florence or from Pisa, and something really unusual, something to tell your friends and relatives. I did it in Tuscany. So this is my presentation in few minutes.
that's just incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Makes me homesick a little bit. Thank you. It really did does make me miss Tuscany quite a bit. So, Marta, this is extraordinary, and I want to say that it's one of those things that, especially our attendees have seen images and videos on Tuscany year in, year out, and there's a lot of, I'm sure, of things that this videos is highlighting that not necessarily people know about it, like you said before. And so this is really interesting. And so I'm very curious, we're all very curious to hear more details about everything that stands behind these beautiful images. So take it away, Marta.
Yes. Okay. So
Eccoci, perfetto.
Tuscany, okay, fantastic. So Tuscany Adventure Times is our brand, the brand of a adventure travel, and the brand of a project we developed in the last 4 years. So the project, as I told you before, it was born just to give another and to offer another different Tuscany, so another kind of Tuscany. But this doesn't mean offering just the adrenaline, the adventure Tuscany, but also and matching the adrenaline and the adventure Tuscany together with the traditional Tuscany. So the one you can see in the countryside with the wine tasting, the one of the little villages just up of a hill, or the one of the city arts like Florence, Lucca, Pisa. So you can combine your travel and doing something really unusual. So trekking, mountain, cycling, water sports, ski and snow, esports and natural exploration. We have everything, really. It's also very difficult to choose because we have more than 20 different activities you can find, and in Tuscany you can find the companies which can provide you a very good and high level, high standard services. So it's just starting with the trekking and mountain. In Tuscany, we have different mountains. One is in the south of Tuscany, it's a Vulcano, an old ancient Vulcano, which is not operative anymore, but in the same area, we have a lot of hot springs, for example. So it's a very rich area of hot springs, and you can combine in the south of Tuscany the hiking and trekking together with the relaxing bath in the hot springs. So in the north of Tuscany, we have Apennine and Alps, and part of the Alps are just in front of the sea, of the Tyrrhenian Sea, in the north at the border with Liguria. And the Alps in Tuscany are beautiful, and the mountains are something special. You can do everything, also caving, trail running, orienteering. There are many events in orienteering dedicated to some, and which are placed in some woods of Tuscany. You can find a 6,000 kilometers of path of Tuscan hiking network. The network is signed by the Alpine Club, Italian Alpine Club, and we have a brochure, so with the best 100 paths, so the one which have a wonderful landscape, so and easy for each level. So, and we can offer 4 levels of difficulty. So for the tourism, hikers, experts, or families. So many of them are you can go with your family, with the children, and offer them to the children, to the families. So as I told you before, 9 national, regional, and UNESCO parks, and 9 ancient roads. The most important, the most famous ancient road, ancient path is Via Francigena, which is crossing Tuscany or along Tuscany. So from the north till the south, because it's crossing the region going to Rome. This is the list of national and regional parks. So you can see I didn't put the list of the protected areas because they are really many, and you can find it all over Tuscany. And the ancient roads are crossing in different parts of the region. So they are really important. The one we have 2 here, not very well known abroad, but really very well known in Tuscany and in Italy, Via degli Dei, Trail of the Gods, which is connecting Florence to Bologna, and Via della Lana e della Seta, Nuova Bologna Faenza, and the Via della Lana e della Seta, Wool and Silk Trail, which is connecting Prato to Bologna.
Wow. Can I ask you one question, Marta? Sorry, because it just
really
came to me.
Very wild.
Sure. I have a quick question, because one thing that it's probably necessary for the level of difficulties of some of these trails, sort of you mentioned it. For example, I believe the probably Via degli Dei is probably one of the difficult ones, just because getting to Bologna you have to go across the Apennine. But for example, Via Francigena, that's doable, no? That's pretty.
Yes. Via Francigena, you can choose if you want to wander. I say wander, but if you want to hike, if you want to go horse riding, if you want to biking in Via Francigena, it depends on the trail, on the track you are deciding to go in. So because it's really very long, also Via degli Dei, there are some parts are more difficult and parts are not so difficult. So Via degli Dei is not so difficult, it's long because you have to walk a lot. Via Francigena, you have more stops, so you have more, how can I say, places where you can do a rest. Via degli Dei it's more wild, has not so many places where you can do a rest like Via Francigena. So, but they are not difficult. All the ancient roads are not difficult. You have to think that they were the pilgrim roads. So the pilgrims, the most are ending in Rome. So they are not difficult.
Perfect.
So I can go. Another activity very important and really very interesting, just to having another experience in Tuscany is cycling. Cycling, tourism, road cycling. We say white gravel bike, so on the white roads. And downhill free ride. We have 2 downhill parks where there are also many competitions for downhills, one in Amiata Mountain and one in Abetone Mountain, with the downhill parks and a mountain bike. So cycling in Tuscany is really safe, because we Tuscan, we are used to have to see cycling tourism. So it's not, we don't drive fast in the landscape streets where we know we found the cycler. Yes, and what can I add? In Tuscany, we have a lot of companies which are renting the biking, or organizing, or tour operator are organizing a tour with the guides. and the most are organizing the tour with e-bike, and I suggest you the e-bike, because in Tuscany, if you are not sport addicted, I need an e-bike, because
The
yes,
hills,
because
the
of the
track.
hills. The hills seem to be, how can I say, really very soft and lovely, but when you are
When you drive.
cycling, they are not
No.
lovely. so,
It's a
so
vacation after all. It's a vacation after all. You know, it's not
yes,
worse.
it's a vacation by e-bike. It's fantastic because you can arrive up without sweating.
Exactly.
Sweating.
That's sweating.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. So this is
Perfect.
important,
This is exactly.
and these are you can read my document later, so with all the information. Water sports, the coastline, the most are places in the coastline, but also in our rivers, in the mountains, and in the countryside. So it's a wonderful doing rafting in the vineyard in Chianti, or rafting in the mountains in Casentino, where the sacred forests are, or canyoning, swamp cruise, kayak, canoe, surfing, kite surfing, soup sailing. Sailing between the islands of Tuscany is wonderful, and if you are, how can I say, lucky, you can also see
It's good.
whales and dolphins. So snorkeling, fishing, and diving. Diving is one of the most, how can I say, the most important activities we can offer. Is one of the most important, especially in the islands, and especially Giglio Islands, which is one of the favorite places for divers in Europe,
Wow.
because the
Fantastic.
nature is fantastic, and it's not has luckily had no, it wasn't ruined by the
Yes.
Costa
Yes.
Crociere.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
the
mishap.
ship. Yes,
The oopsie
that's
daisy.
what. It's not ruined. The ship is not anymore there, so the cruise is not anymore there. And the Giglio Island is a fantastic place where diving.
In fact, Marta, if I'm not mistaken, Tuscany, the coast gets year in, year out. It's one of the cleanest, if not the cleanest water in all Italy. Am I correct on the seashore?
Yes. No, no, you are correct. You are correct.
So
And
that's also adds, yeah, on the beauty of the place. It's also well
yeah,
kept. I'm saying, yeah.
yes, in Tuscany, we have more, for example, windsurf and a little bit less, and the kite surf. So we are surfing by the wind, and not the. We
The
don't have
engine,
many places for the normal surf. I think the
gotcha.
oceans waves are more interesting for the
Of
surfers,
course,
but for the people who is interested in something different, like kite surf, is amusing and fantastic, and really, and also for children, because they have the companies are organizing also courses for children, and you can just going there and ask for the course and buying the course on the beach. So
perfect,
you
perfect.
you don't need to. It's ski and snow. Ski and snow is Italy is famous for the Alps, so for other regions, but we also have snow in Tuscany, especially in the mountains, and we have ski lift. We go skiing, especially in the weekend. From Florence is 1 hour and a half driving, just up from Pistoia, Abetone, and we have 3 main ski areas. In the alpine ski, snowboard, snowshoes. It's a lovely place. They are nearby to Florence, Lucca, so the art cities. The period of skiing is January, February, and the beginning of March, and sometimes also December, but the real winter we go skiing. And what else? If you are planning a travel in Tuscany in February and you just want to spend one day from the morning to the evening, you can go skiing. So from Florence, from Lucca, and this is really very unusual.
Yeah.
The landscapes are really beautiful of our skiing areas. So it's the landscape you can see from air is lovely and how can I say, amazing. So ballooning, hang gliding, paragliding are aviable. I think it's better to book this kind of experience, and because they are subjected to the weather, so it's better to be in contact with the companies that are organizing them. And lovely and for all, I can say.
All these activities, I just want to say, Marta, so that we said it for there's a handout in the menu that you see. I'm talking to the attendees now. You can download it. A lot of information, correct me if I'm wrong, Marta, about some of these activities that you're mentioning. There they will have a chance to see a directory or have a chance to get more information about those directly from the people that provide their services. Am I right?
Yes, we have we have a catalog of the activities you can do in Tuscany, and we also have a catalog of suppliers. So we selected the suppliers, and we have this kind of catalog. We just have to renew the catalog, so anything you need, you just have to write us, and we can easily give you all the information you need about who provides that service or where it's better to do these kind of activities, or the differences between one to another. So we are at your disposal.
Awesome. That's good. That's very good, because this is necessary, Marta, just so that the attendees know who they can sort of trust and contact them, and then getting directly exactly to the person that it's that can really help them out. Just go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you.
So natural exploration, the horseback riding. The horses in Tuscany are really lucky animals because they have their own path, sometimes in some parts of Tuscany, so you can find only horses during your trip on horseback riding, and it's really a big emotion to ride a horse in Tuscany, especially on the seaside in Maremma, as you saw in the video. So you can go on the beach, you can ride on the beach, and it's fantastic. So bird watching, it's we have a lot of kind of birds all around Tuscany, so it's nice. Geothermal is they are geysers, like Yellowstone has not big like the Yellowstone one, but very powerful.
Tuscany has geysers. That's what you say?
Yes, Tuscany has geysers. They are near between Volterra and the seaside.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Val di Cesena, and geothermal is very important for us, not only for the tourism, for the path between the geysers, but also for the electricity production, because it's the white production. So it's a natural production of electricity.
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
Sorry. Yes.
It's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
It's okay.
And just for example, the municipalities in those areas, people have the hot water for free home because they have the natural hot water. And if you are going to stay in a resort in that area and you open the can it say yes, the sources of the hot water, you just have to be careful. Yes, and they tell you because it's 90 degrees, 90 Celsius degrees.
Very hot.
I don't know Fahrenheit. So you just risk to be burned by the water, and it's for free because we have a lot of hot natural water, and the geysers are beautiful. So they are full of sulfur. How do you say
sulfuric
waters, and so there is these landscapes, and we say the devil landscapes because you see the geysers in orange and red landscapes of rocks. Rocks are orange and red, really beautiful. Archaeological area, especially the Etruscans. So the Etruscans were Tuscans, and we were Etruscans, as you prefer. So the archaeological area is really very interesting for history, just to understand these people and this period where, for example, women were leading the families and were leader and had beautiful also dresses and were a really important part of not only of the family but also of the society. And the botanical area and adventure parks. For adventure park, you saw in the video the zip line in the canyon. So our adventure park are really fantastic and amusing because they are inside the nature and in very exclusive places like canyons. So doing a zip line in canyons, and they are for all, also for the children. If you don't mind just to be on a line and working on a line with all the protection you just need. For example, my son is 12 years old, and we are going to adventure parks in Tuscany. Yes,
traveling with kids and having an adventure park. It saves your vacation because otherwise you go restless.
It's fantastic, Francesca. It's amazing and very amusing also for families, for groups of friends, because you laugh a lot.
Exactly.
Yes, just to see friends in having. Yes. To be fair. Okay, and so I'm ending with natural exploration. So for any question you have, we are here and on your disposal. So you can ask us anything you need, just tips, or we are here for you.
Thank you, Marta. Thank you very much. There's a lot. And the things it's extraordinary is to see once again that the idea that, of course, most of us have outside of Italy here, especially in the United States, it's a much more complex in terms of the number of destinations and attractions. But I believe, before I pass the word to Francesca, which of course is already sort of showing us a little bit what she's talking about, we actually have a guest that I believe she should be popping up any minute now that I have to present. And I'm glad to do so, is my director and the director of the National Tourism Board in Rome for promotion and marketing. Thank you. Hello, Maria Elena. Hi. Ciao. Benvenuta al webinar su Tuscany Adventure Time.
Good morning, everyone. Marta, Francesca, and Francesco. Ciao.
Hello. Ciao.
I'm just, I don't wish to interrupt this very interesting stories about Tuscany. I wanted to say hello, to also share solidarity with these tough times that we're all going through. And Italy is opening its borders and has already opened its borders also within the country on the 3rd of June and on the 15th at a European level. And we are very keen on also supporting all the information that you might need. In particular, we just published in English and in Italian the guidelines about hospitality that all the Italian industry, tourism industry is respecting to reopen its infrastructure in favor of tourism. And we believe that we are actually ready to have all the tourists and all the people who want to plan tourism. We also met just last week on the day of the anniversary of the Italian Republic on the 2nd of June with our Italian ambassador in the United States, and he's strongly supporting also the possible anticipation of the connections between direct connections between Italy and the United States and Canada, of course. And so we are really working very hard in order to be able to host you all in the near future. And of course, because we are here with Tuscany, first of all in Tuscany, we there is a very beautiful program that our colleagues in the New York and Los Angeles offices have set up for you, of presentations of all regions and destinations. And I think it's very special for us as an opportunity also in these times of distancing to be able to show you things that we maybe don't have time to show you, or to show you destinations which are very well positioned, but to see them with other eyes. And it's a fact for us as well. We are also looking at our country with new eyes. And I think this stop has given us really this opportunity. So we should also see the positive sides of this stop, that forced stop that has had such a strong impact on all of us. So I won't take any more time. I thank all the team of ANIT in the US. We are very close to you. We hope also to visit the US very soon, of course, as well. And we are all looking forward to have you in Italy as soon as possible. And well, all the best. And I leave the floor again to Marta and Francesca.
Oh,
thank you. Grazie, Mariana. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao. So, Francesca,
Ciao.
we have to talk about your background. Where are you? I'm going crazy since
finally I can
around
show you
and showing the sky and showing the sea and then the beach. Where are you? We want to come there. Even it's a cloudy day. It's beautiful.
Maybe you saw me moving around because
no,
a few minutes ago it was raining, but now there's a sun. And because in the islands where I live in Elba Island, the weather changes very quickly, and this is the panorama you can see here around me.
Oh my Lord, this is beautiful. Was that a bay? It was beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I am in Elmfola, which is a beach where is the building where the building of the national park where I work. I mean, I work in the field of tourism for the national park, and I am in Elba Island. So first of all, I introduce my island, which is the widest island of the national park. It's an island you can reach in by boat. It takes 1 hour from the mainland, and it's the widest. I was telling you. we are 32,000 inhabitants, and it's 224 kilometers square. It's the third island in Italy. It's quite big. I used to say that it's a medium size. It's a good size, not too big and not too small.
Perfect.
So we live here very well. I mean, it's a quiet place and really enjoyable all year round. But we are an archipelago, so besides Elba, which is the widest, there are other 6 islands, all protected under the National Park Authority, which is as I was telling, an authority protecting the islands, and because each island needs to be protected in a different way. So 4 out of 7 islands are protected for the 100%. I mean, they are totally protected in order to safeguard the wildlife, especially the birds getting to the islands in their nesting season, and also the flora and fauna, everything must be protected. The Elba Island is protected for its half, so we are in the national park, all protected. So it's a natural places. It's a place where you can have a lot of outdoor activities, besides also, of course, foodie tours, because we are the production of these places are really genuine, because we don't have pollution. As it's a really natural places, and you can stay in Elba Island, Giglio Island, Capraia, but the half of the island, most of the islands are not. You cannot stay there because they are too small, and they are protected, as I was telling before, for the 100%. So you cannot stay there.
So
You can enjoy one day.
You can visit them, and then you have to go home.
You can enjoy one day tour there with a guide, with the naturalistic guides, or even by yourself, because some islands are reachable also with a sailing boat. For example, Janutri Island, for example, is a place protected, but you can reach it by yourself or with a ferry.
Got it.
So
all these islands people live there all year round, or there are some of them that are deserted, or what's the situation in terms of like when you arrive in the island?
Yeah, Elba is as I was telling, is the biggest, and we are 32,000 inhabitants. Then Giglio Island almost are 2,000 inhabitants. Capraia is also a place where people live, but Pianosa, in Giannutri and Monte Cristo, 0 inhabitants, but Pianosa, a couple of inhabitants. And it's also a prison, so the very few people can live there. Just the people dealing with the services for the touristic services. And then Monte Cristo is the most protected and maybe the most famous Tuscan island in the world. And it's just, you can only go there by a daily tour organized by the national park all year round.
Cool.
But you're not allowed to go there by yourself. So,
so basically, they need to sort of plan ahead. This is I'm asking this because, of course, our attendees that are sort of maybe considering that for the client, or if the client sort of are asking specific questions, of course, that's a good piece of information. And they will contact who? They will contact your organization to get the permission, or to whom do they have to?
The daily trip are organized by the national park, and we as Info Park take care of these services. We plan the visits, and there is a schedule, all year round, starting usually from the springtime, from March, getting through all the season until the end of October, the beginning of November. This season started a bit late, but we managed we managed to begin to start the visits and the touristic activities one month ago, more or less.
Gotcha.
And we opened to the public, to the visits, starting with the Tuscan people, and then now getting on with the other tourists. Mm-hmm.
So for example, of course, there's silly question, but for example, Elba, it's reachable. I'm guessing by water, of course, by ferry, all year round, and
all year round.
Can you give me more details, because it's an unusual sort of, it's like a microcosm. When I try to explain to a friend of mine what Elba is all about, besides the fact it's very easy to reach, if I'm not mistaken, from Florence, so probably including the ferry, it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
3 hours from the 2 hours by car to Piombino, which is the main port, to get to the island, and then 1 hour by ferry, so 4 hours maximum. So it's really easy to reach Elba after a tour in Florence, and then after the cultural tour, you can enjoy 2 or 3 days of outdoor activities and all relax on the beach.
Of course, but the things that makes it unusual, or more than unusual, makes it really a desirable destination, when I try to sort of explain to friends of mine, is the fact that usually when you commit to a small island, it's limited the number of things that you do. Of course, you have beautiful beach, you have maybe a couple of nice restaurants, but Elba is big enough, but it's small enough at the same time to have like this microcosm. You can see hills and green on your back. There's mountains.
It's big. It's big. You can't imagine how much it's big. I mean, also when sometimes while I work in the office in Portoferraio, which is the main port, I welcome people. Thinking of going around, strolling around the island by foot. On foot. It's not easy because it's so big. You have to walk for kilometers and kilometers. To reach by car, you take it takes 1 hour to get to the opposite side of the island. So it's quite big, and you have a lot of things to do. Yeah.
Francesca, Elba is the third island in Italy. After Sardinia,
after Sardinia and Italy.
It's the third island, so it's quite big.
And it's great, because my point is that when you decide to make your vacation, if you have a family, for example, it's one of the few places that you really don't get. Everybody has a little bit of everything. Again, there's beautiful beach experience, which, if I'm mistaken, they can go from nice sandy beach to the stone that you have there, to rocks. The diving is amazing. Exactly. You have villages. That's the other thing. They have the history.
The small villages. There are 8 villages and 7 city halls. So we are quite, various. So it's you can enjoy one night, every night you can visit a different village, and you can see the variety of this island.
I want to ask you a question. I didn't ask you because we had a rehearsal yesterday. I forgot to ask you. In terms of event, on summer event, sometimes, it's nice to visit some of these villages when they have either a fair or some sort of like annual event. Is there such a thing in Elba that you should come just to see it? When is it? Where is it?
I would recommend, for example, in October, which is a really, really great period to come, because it's always summer. And there is the wine feast in Capolive, which is very famous. It's getting more. More and more popular in in Tuscany, and it's getting more popular also in Italy. And there is really a big feast where the village is totally closed, and they transform really the village, and they go. I mean, in the past, they transport the village as it was in the ancient times. They choose a theme, a historical theme, and they prepare everything for people, and of course they drink a lot of wine.
Wine. So there's production of wine on the island. I didn't know that.
It's there is there are in the last few years. I mean, in the last 20 years, wine productions grew a lot. I mean, they grew in their quality. They are small, tiny, small wine production, but really of quality. I mean, they are really and also innovative. There is Antonio Righi, which is a friend of mine. It's a friend of everyone. Is in Elba. He's a man from Porto Azzurro, and he has not invented it. He's producing. He started producing a wine in amphora. In the ancient amphora. Yeah. Like Romans produced.
Used to do.
Yes,
That's
used
perfect.
to do it. It's
also lovely.
Yeah, it's a surprise also from a food production point of view, because we have pristine and environment, and the ground is the wine the wine wineries and wine is grow very well. I mean, the grapes grow.
There's a nice weather. They have the hills and all that. I know.
Yeah.
And also, of course, the sea. Perfect. This is great. This is just give you once again, if you're watching this is a great overview of all these sort of alternative experiences and places. And definitely, if you have more questions, I know that we're gonna read it in a few seconds. Directed, of course, especially to Francesca when it comes to the islands and all that. I'm sure that our guests are going to have a lot of that. Now, it's time to, thanks to the generosity of Francesca and, of course, Tuscany, also to have this little sort of quiz pulse, if you wish. As I said before at the beginning, there's a beautiful one-day excursion for 10 attendees, and the way we're gonna do it, again, it's limited. The way we do it, there's gonna be 3 separate questions that I'm gonna send out. I'm gonna send the pool. You're gonna see on your screen there's gonna be the questions. You can click and basically say what you think is the right answer. We will collect all the answer and also see the timing and in the fashion that was answered. So the 10 people that answered the fastest and the correct answer, they will receive within, I would say, 24 to 48 hours a notice that they indeed have won this beautiful tour, and they will be notified. For all the other one, I'm sorry. Better luck next time. We're gonna have more of these options, but that's what is gonna happen. So the winner will receive a notification from us. So I'll stop talking, concentrate, and let's see if you actually did listen to a lot of things that we discussed today, and see if you're still following us. So I'm gonna pull up the first questions, and I'll do that in a second. Get ready, because it's coming. Okay, one, and starts right now. So as you can see, the question is, does Tuscany have a volcano on its territory? As a no. Yes, it's Mount Amiata. Yes, it's Mount Serra. So let's see how many got it right. I see only 20% of you have voted, so I guess you don't want to go to Pianosa, which is fine. I'll give you a few more seconds, and then we'll actually go ahead and share quickly the results. Okay, about 50% of you has answered. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds. It looks like most of you got it right, which is nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm closing the poll right now. Perfect. I'm gonna share with everybody the poll. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it. The most of the people actually say Mount Tamiata. Is that correct? Hello? Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Of course, it is correct. Like you said, so
correct.
They were listening. Mount Tamiata is a dormant, it's a dormant volcano, and luckily is not going to wake up. So I'm going to hide this and go to the next question. There we go, and let's go. Starting right now. What are the 7 pearls of Tuscany? I know Francesca actually mentioned it. What are the 7? The 7 islands of the Tuscan archipelago, or the 7 forests of the Tuscan Apennines? Da 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 da. This is the music from the Jeopardy. So it looks like most of you guys getting it right. I'm already see that you got quicker in answering. I have almost 50%. I'll open it for another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the poll, share the poll. There we go. 81% said it right. So yes, indeed, it's the Tuscan archipelago. So you were listening. It's good. It's good. And now, last but not least, let's go to the last question. Hopefully, get ready on your buzzer. Voila, and starts the question right now. In which area of Tuscany are located the sacred forests? Typical. Are they Maremma or Casentino? Okay, start the voting. Here it's a little bit more split. We have, wow, it's gonna be interesting. All right, I have about 35% people voting right now. It's even split, believe it or not. Let's see who's voting. 53%. Okay. Okay, good. Because you started they started voting, they were half and half, but now it looks like they actually the people finally make up their mind with the right answer. So I have 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Close the poll. Share. A good,
Fantastic.
63%, but still 37%. Thank you very much. It's not in Maremma. We have a lot of stuff. Well, we don't have we don't have forest.
Sacred forest.
So let's close this one here. So once again, this was very nice. So I'm gonna read a couple of questions. Let's see if anybody. Let me open it up right now, and I'll read a few questions. I think we went a little bit beyond the allocated time, but I would be remiss if I don't at least try to read a couple of questions to you guys. No matter, I did not get a question. Hard to say, but let me see. Oh yes, this one here. So yeah, I think we already answered this one, Maria Lisella. We have, how does one reach the islands? The islands, so it's plural. So it's very good. So we established, I believe, that that you get with a ferry to Elba, but generally, how do you get to the others island, to Giglio, Monte Cristo, etc., etc.? How do you get there?
Francesca.
Yeah. Giglio Island.
Francesca, go.
You can, no, okay. Giglio is like Elba. You can reach it by ferry. By the ferry, it's 1 hour by ferry from Porto Santo Stefano, which is in Maremma, which is close to Grosseto. It's in the south of Tuscany. Gotcha. Then, because the islands are quite far from each other, so we are more in the northern part of the Tirreno. Giglio is in the south. It's 60 kilometers far from Elba, sure. More or less. So we cannot reach it within the islands. I mean, we have only to get to the mainland and to get to the other islands. So Giglio is almost like more or less like Elba. Then also Capraia is in the same situation. You reach Capraia in more than 2 hours from Livorno, which is in the north of Tuscany. Then the smallest islands, you can get there by through a daily trip mostly. So Pianosa, which is the closest to Elba, it's reachable by a ferry starting from Elba, and which is a sort of it's a service, a line service, but it's a daily trip because it's mostly a daily trip to get to Pianosa. So the smallest islands are less. I mean, they're less easy to reach. But if you ask the info park, we can give you all the information.
This actually is a question, I believe, from Marta. Somebody says, what is the history of the ancient roads? Are they still kept authentic? If not, are they overcrowded, and are there guides for the guests?
Okay, social distancing, just to say something, how can I say, nowadays, it's really natural in the ancient roads because you don't meet a lot of people on the roads, on the path. You can meet somebody, but they are not crowded, not all. Not at all, I mean. So it's really a very wandering, a very relaxing wandering into the nature. But most of the paths are original paths, so it's the pilgrim path, the one they did in during the centuries. There are some places where you have to cross the streets, the roads. So there are just little tracks. They are not the original one because in the original one there is the road. So you just have to cross the road and taking again the path. So it's but I can say the 19% are the original ones.
Good. Thank you very much. So before there's a lot of questions and I'm gonna forward it to you. I am sorry, but of course before we leave, we want to show this beautiful video on Elba. Am I right, Francesca?
Yeah. Yes. Please. I'm happy you can see this.
It's with a perfect sort of ending of this amazing. So please, let's send it over. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. This goes perfectly pairing with what we discussed right now, how beautiful, how much is to see. I think it's a perfect ending to this very, very substantial first webinar. So this concludes our webinar. I want to thank you, of course, Marta Iavarone, Francesca Tribocco once again. And before I leave you, to all the attendees, you will be receiving a survey to have an idea, what you think of today's presentation, and moreover, if there's more content, we have to adjust something so we can serve you better. And of course, to the winners, congratulations, and we will send you out an email so you get in touch with Francesca and you'll be able to visit beautiful Pianosa. Before I leave, of course, I want to thank my colleague from my office in Toronto, Salvatore and Sabrina, as well as our colleague from Los Angeles, Manuela and Fabrizio, and my colleagues from New York, Cosmo, Marzia and Caterina. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Thank you. Goodbye. Ciao.
Bye.